Alright, hey everybody, Evan here from devascend.com, and in this video, we're going to cover event forwarding. So just like in our last video, we have our app.svelte, we're importing our button component that we made right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some styling to our button component. I'm going to make it like a nice blue shade. You can see we have it like this, and I'm just doing that to differentiate this button from the button we're going to be adding in our app.svelte. So I'm going to go ahead and create a button here. I'm just going to call this app button. And then I'm going to go to our button.svelte and I'm going to set the default text to be, let's call it component button. Now, if we go to our browser here, we can see we have our component button and our app button. So now I want to make it so when I click on either of these buttons, it's going to run a function that's going to console log something to our console. So I'm going to go ahead and create a function in our script tag here. Remember, this is in our app.svelte. I'm going to say, I'm just going to call this log. And inside here, we're just going to console log button clicked. Okay, pretty simple. So now let's go to our button here in our app.svelte. I'm going to add the onClick event. And if you remember, all we have to do is just pass the reference to our function. In this case, our function name is log. So let's go ahead and just type log. And now if we go to our browser and I open up our console here, if I go ahead and click on the app button, we're going to see button clicked. However, if I click on the component button, nothing happens. So your first thought might be, well, I could just add on click and then add log here, and this would work. If we go to our browser and we try clicking on it, it's still not going to show up anything. This is because we actually need to forward our on click to our actual button in our component here. And the way we do that is actually pretty simple. So if I go into our button tag here and I say on click, you might think, well, we type =, log. Well, actually, that is not what we do. All we have to do is just type on click. That's it. That's all we need. Because now that we have on click on our button here, what this does is it's going to do the same exact thing that our export variable is doing here. It's going to lift that event up to its parent component. So just like we're lifting up our variable button text here to our app component, we're actually lifting this on-click event back up to our app component. So now whenever this on-click event fires inside our button component, so whenever we click on this button, this on-click event is going to forward up to our actual component on-click event here. It's going to call our log function that's in our app.svelte. So if we go ahead and go to our browser and I go ahead and click on component button, now it's going to actually run the function that's in our app.svelte, even though we don't have that function in our button component. This is called event forwarding. So now I just want to give another really quick example. So let's go ahead and create a div around this button like so, and we're actually going to have two things inside this button here. Span, that's just going to say click to log, and our button. And keep in mind, we have our on click still on our button here. If we go to our browser, if I click on the button, it works. However, let's add our on click event here. Let's take it off of our button and add it onto our span. Now, when we go to our browser, if I click on the button, it's not going to display anything. However, if I click on our span, it's going to say button clicked. So this on click event can be on any div or element that we want. And it works the same exact way. It's going to forward it up to our app.svelte right here, and it's going to call this function. So now let's say I wanted to take this on click event and we put it on our actual div that holds both of these elements. And now if I go to our browser, now if I click on either one of these, it's going to say button clicked, because again, our on click is on our div that is the parent of our two elements here. So this is basically how you would handle passing down your functions that are in your app.svelte into components that you're importing. In future videos, we'll cover this more in depth, but this is a very basic example. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can join the devascend Discord server and either myself or someone else will be able to help you out there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.